Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Friday to you. Hopefully, everyone had an amazing, amazing week. And thank you for being here. Always good to feel your energy and to hear from Spirit together. So, I'm just going to get my desktop all set up here as per usual, and we will get into it. All right. I think we're good there. There we go. All right. Let me just make sure. Yep, there's YouTube saying we are good to go. All right. So, before we get into everything, let's send some love out to the world. I'm going to grab our singing bowl here. And, you know, the world is such an amazing, amazing adventure theme park that has so much different vibrations of energy. But the greatest one is the unconditional love energy from above. We can help transform and balance out a million people. One person sending unconditional love energy out to the world can help balance a million people having lower vibrational energy. That's how powerful it is. So, whether you're watching live or on replay, we can all join outside of space and time and come together and multiply the love. It doesn't just add on top of each other, it multiplies it out. So, never underestimate what we can do when we join together with that love. All right, so I'm going to take a big deep breath, come back to right here, right now, let all that outside world stuff go away. Beautiful. As I hit the singing bowl, we're going to allow that love from above to flow down into us, our own heart, our own being, the cells of our body, our lives, and then flow out to the world. I'll hit it about 3 times. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Let me just put that back over here. So it continues to sing away. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, just a couple of quick things before we get into it. Of course, we have a new podcast episode that came out last Sunday. Every Sunday, I have a Chaos to Cozy podcast. And this last one was about drama and words, which is really interesting information that helped transform and see the world differently. So definitely check that one out if it resonates. Also, I think it was last week that I put out on astrological Zenergy, my first of a series of videos that I'll be putting out throughout the year. Whenever there's, and I have quite a few here because we have a lot of retrogrades that are happening. But this video talks about retrogrades in general. And, can you believe that we're about half of our lives with the pre shadow and post shadow of retrogrades? About half our life is in retrograde. So it's not as scary as it sometimes is made out to be. But this one talks about the Mercury retrograde that we're in right now, and then also the Saturn pre-shadow retrograde that we're in now. Talks about how to make the most of those energies and what to be aware of. So feel free to check those out. And let's see here. think we did that here. We're still impacted, of course, the eclipse that happened on Monday still will impact us from 4 to 6 weeks. So I also put out an eclipse alert with a pick a card talking about eclipse energy, how to make the most of all that energy, right? So, and that's one of my goals. One of my passions is to understand the energy that's going on around us, and astrological energy does impact us. So, how to make the most of it instead of having it weigh us down, it can actually help us springboard us off into things, just as long as we know how to use it, right? So be sure to check that out. And then we have Happy Taurus season coming up here. Next week we go into Taurus around, I think it's the 20th, 21st. So here is a pick a card that I put out, and special birthday, early happy birthday to you Taurians. There's a 3 month forecast for all of you Taurians. All right, I think that's what I want to talk about now. I will have Monday. I know I do a lot of free stuff, and it's my passion. And Monday, I'll be rolling out monthlies again. I used to do monthlies for each individual zodiac sign, and spirits really encouraged me to do that and nudged me to get back into that. So Monday it'll come out for May, and I even do a little kind of astrological energy overcast for the month, just to kind of get a big picture of some of the big energies that just help you prepare for May in general. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. All right. So, well, happy birthday, beloved Calypso. And hey, Supernova, God's daughter, everybody, hello, hello, hello. If you're new to this channel or new to these readings, welcome. We got a great group of people with huge hearts, wonderful senses of humor, too. And it's a great combination. How the free readings work is I do go down in order, first come, first serve down the list. There's no special list. The chat is it. We try to keep it simple. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading. Spirit knows what you're inquiring on. And so I'll pull cards based on that. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, step outside of the free readings and prioritize those. Dive deeper too, meaning I do pull some additional cards to get additional information. And then once I'm done, I return back to the free readings and continue to work my way down the list. How to make a donations in the description box of the video. You can use the super chat. It also lists my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. Yeah. And so all that information's in there. I don't look at dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances vary from day to day, person to person, country to country. So I just know that you're given what you're able to at the time. So that's how it all works. Blah, blah, blah. And so let's take a look here. I do have donations, so we'll start there. And right, let's take a look here. Sorry, let me just scroll up here. There we go. All right. So Nova, Supernova, thank you so much for your multiple donations. So we'll hit 1, 2, and 3, and then Johanna, and then Nova and Brenda, Infinity, Jeep. And that's as much I can say on my screen now. So we'll go that route. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the donations. So we'll start off with your first sticker here, which is the coming in there. So let's take a look and see what we have here. Let me just double check something really quick. I thought there was. I might have just looked at it. No, I was looking at it wrong. Okay. All right. So, question 1. There it is. Whoops. Mouse is going wild today, so my apologies. Scroll. There we go. So, question for Kurt's spirit about, excuse me, addictive behaviors. What advice do they have to say? All right, definitely. We'll take a look here. I'm using today the round tarot. I love this round deck. Um, just so many beautiful messages. So let's take a look and see, what does Kurt want you to know about addictions here. Okay. All right. So the energy on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Ace of Swords that's here. And the Ace of Swords overall energy, yeah, you even have the World card, which is ending of cycles, beginning of new adventures. So, there is some getting to the understanding, the higher truth of where the addiction comes from. Sometimes there's some chemical stuff in our brains. Sometimes it's a combination of that with habit and, emotional, like even like emotional eating is something, there's core things that are just need to be known and brought from, the unconscious to the subconscious. So they're really encouraging here, to get to the root of things coming in here. Yeah, because you have your first card that came out. Of course, you always get the Empress. So, but Empress is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, self care, and prioritizing that piece of yourself there. So I feel like they're encouraging you, if you have something that you've tried to overcome and it's not, get help. Get someone that can help you understand where it's coming from and give you tools on how to transform it, right? Because I feel like you've been very patient with it, with the 7 of Pentacles, in trying to overcome, and it feels like you've been patient enough trying to do it, and I feel like they're nudging you, going, it's not bad to ask for assistance, because, if we want to feel this fullness and overflowingness of the 10 of Cups, which is joy and consistency, then we do, you know, um, sometimes need to ask for help and ask for assistance, because we're not given a user manual, when we grow up, right? About how everything happens, right? Yeah, yeah. So, it you know, is just, if we try to do it ourselves and to wean ourselves off and do it, and we just can't do it, then it's okay. The biggest thing is just to get a trusted source, usually like counselor or someone, that's bound by law. I don't know what Australia law is, but there's like laws of, like, they it has to just between me and my counselor, no one else, and that helps open up and feel safe to where you can talk about things too. So I feel like that's important. You have the star card here, which is a balancing kind of energy that comes in with this. All those stars around the big star are the chakras. So, they're definitely, are nudging you to look at how to balance those things, because it's very important on your journey. It distracts us, right? It influences us. It, you know, it's like a mean monkey that's attached to us that keeps on biting us, and we'll calm it down every once in a while, but then it starts biting us again, and we can release ourselves from the monkey. I don't know why they're saying that, but so I feel like that's the important thing, is just to say, you know what, and they can help you with a variety of things too, but they'll help you get to the bottom of what's going on, and help release other things too, right? The source of why we're uh, unhappy sometimes, and while we're searching for something on the outside to make us feel better. Sometimes it's passed down through family blood and heredity too. So it's understanding that. So that's what Kurt has, and I feel like they fully understand it. They had a lot of that, I believe. I don't know a ton about their background, but I just feel like they're like, "Trust me, I'm an expert. Ask for help." I thought I could do it all myself, but ask for help. And getting to the root of the causes, is so important because um, if things are triggering and then that triggers us to try to numb, things, then you know, uh, it just helps. So, of course, and I'm no licensed counselor, licensed physician, licensed anything. So, of course, disclaimer about, tarot is designed for entertainment purposes only. And, you need to ultimately make your own decisions. But that's, what I feel Kurt is telling you about that at this time. All right. So hopefully that helps a little bit, but definitely that knowledge and awareness is an important piece of it. All right, and then on to your second, I think that's, either a calm or sleeping, emoticon for number 2, and thank you for that donation. Um, and then you want messages just from Kurt's spirit. You feel called to ask for some reason, so just extra message from Kurt. We'll take a look here. Hi, hi, ho, ho. Hey, Johanna. Shout out to one of my YouTube channel members. You'll see their names in green with badges. I don't think I saw anyone else's. So welcome, welcome. All right. So let's take a look here. I actually feel for this one, they want to go to their Whispers of the Lord Ganesha Oracle. So let's take a look here. See what message Kurt has. Extra message. All right. This is the one. Yeah. The Inner Knowing. Beautiful card. Let me just kind of scooch in a little bit. You can see it a little better here. Maybe. There it goes. Card number 17. You have a place inside you that holds your most significant answers. Within each of us lies our intuitive knowing. Motivation and ideas are present, yet untapped in this space within us. The spark of the divine waits patiently for us to tune in and retrieve our guidance. This is a time of soul searching. You're in a phase of introspection where you are drawing your attention and focus inward and looking for guidance within. You have a strong need to understand, not just at the surface level, but also to really know why things are unfolding in the manner that they are. You now have access to the inner knowing that the truth and acceptance you seek is within you. This is a perfect time to take a step back from your day to day life and deeply contemplate your motivations, personal principles, and values. Seek the truth. Work with Ganesha and see that through meditation, consideration, and self assessment, the opportunity to evaluate your direction and personal goals awaits you. Your priorities may shift as you develop a deeper perspective. So take this opportunity for some much needed alone time. So, yeah, there's definitely like this energy of, that self-care, that self-awareness, really looking at, okay, what are the obstacles? Why are things happening? Really getting to the bottom of that. And again, I feel like they reiterate that, when we get into counseling and that self-reflection, it is beautiful because, sometimes just getting things out of our mouth and into the light help us process things. And that's why counseling helps us so much because uh, we have someone who, like we were talking about before, legally they have to keep their mouth shut usually. Like, but they also are a great mirror and reflection for us. And they also have learned so much and heard so much that they're able to provide us tools, and they're nothing surprises them. They're like, "I heard that, 100 times, 1,000 times before," depending on how long they've been counseling, but there's nothing that surprises counselors. Usually the people who are in counseling are because they've healed so much themselves, they wanted to help others. That's what I have friends who are counselors that say, counselors are most of the, messed up people because they gone through so much, but they want to help other people as well. So I feel like it is a time of reflection. It is a time to really kind of sit back and go, what are the things that you feel are the obstacles that are difficult to transform, in addition to what we've already talked about. And then I feel like they were just really nudging you, just bring that forth, um, you know, as soon as you can, because the sooner you look into those and take that time, then those are like chains that are being cut off that allow you to move forward in a very much more smooth way in your life. And I feel like they're talking again about their own experiences. They fought and battled against it, not admitting things, not taking other people's, nudges to get help. And I feel like that's what ended up ending their life. um, I don't know a lot about their background. I just knew of them, but I do feel like they had a very uh, an early death. It feels like so they're like, don't be stubborn like me. I like that. So that's what he's coming in with that for you, Supernova. All right, and then we'll move on to question 3. And what is that? Is that a sweating, a sweating little emoticon there? So thank you for your third donation. Anyone to know messages from spirit guides about your habits that prevent you from doing things? Okay, so they of course second what Kurt just said. They're like, yeah, he was like their spokesperson. But let's take a look here and see what else they want to bring in here about changing habits. All right. 3 and 4. All right. All right. Well, I like the bottom of the deck. You've got, you know, just a message down here with the Queen of Wands and the Chariot card, which is the Power of Choice card. And this Queen of Wands, very, very powerful because, you know, both of this energy together is about, you have the power to change your habits. Habits are formed through repetition when we're younger, right? And beneath all that, we've even got the 10 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. 10 of Swords is, growing tired of living up to all these small t truths that are bouncing around within us, all those supposed to, shoulds, and need tos and have tos and musts that we talk about a lot. And the 8 of Cups, is this walking away from emotions that no longer serve. So part of all of this is understanding, you know, where the habit came from and, what's the driving force behind it. It's either an emotional thing that's driving it from 7 years old and younger, or a mental thing from 7 to 14 that we learned through repetition. I talk about using this beautiful, whoops, sorry, it's plugged in. I forgot that I'm charging it, ripping out things out of the wall. The cell phone, setting an alarm. There's something that I'm wanting to change, something that I'm wanting to do. One, getting to the root of things like we've all talked about already, but getting us out of the energy of lower vibration. Energy of lower vibration is when we tend to go to old habits, right? Things that are lower vibrational. When we're in higher vibration, in gratitude and unconditional love and joy, laughter and peace, then we tend not to want to choose lower vibration because we're in this higher vibrational energy, and we're just, getting filled with that love, that energy from above. but it's those thoughts and beliefs and those old emotions that are charged and triggered that when something happens, boop, 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 and we're drawn back out into the old habit. So if you set in a vibrating silent alarm, as usually I say, not to irritate everyone around us unless there's no one around you, but having it coming back to peace, to laugh, to gratitude, whatever, because then we realize, oh, I'm out here in my old place of lower vibrational fear energy, whatever it may be, and I can do the things that I know will bring me to the higher vibration that are not of lower vibration, right? Not the fake things like, like you said, pills or whatever, food, dessert, sugar. I know that's mine, comfort food. Can tell when I'm stressing out, I'm like, I just want to go and graze on food, all the unhealthy stuff that the body feels in control. But that's a lot of what comes in with habits. Habits are formed because it makes us feel good in the moment, makes us feel safe, or makes us feel in control in the moment. And then once that we come off of all that, though, it's all still there. So that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else they have here too. Yeah, again, we've got, these 3 cards. You've got the power of emotional choice, so every moment we get to choose our emotions. Being aware of the emotion that we're choosing is important because, we have these feelings of wholeness and abundance, whoa, that are coming in here, and these opportunities. In fact, even on the bottom of the deck, you've got all these, we've got all these beliefs that tell us that, let's see if I can do this here. Maybe. All right, here we go. Because you had the 10 of swords. You also have the 10 of cups underneath that. And with all those 10 of pentacles, these tens, 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 there's these, you know, just synchronistic endings and beginnings, just showing that, there's all these things that we've been taught. And we're taught, don't question it, just do it, or you get punished. And so we are taught just to absorb and take what everyone is telling us until we start to question it. And this is a big piece of understanding, getting to the roots. In order to end habits, we need to replace it with something, right? So when we have habits and things that we're doing, it's like, well, I need to stop doing something. If I'm focusing on stop, 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 what does that do? It doesn't really work a lot with humans, right? We definitely have these energies of, you know, um, these you know, focus on what we're trying to get rid of. But when we do that, we draw it closer to us and we empower it and we give it a lot of energy. Instead of going, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to focus my energy on this, a higher vibrational thing, then the lower vibrational habit gets less power because we're empowering something else in our lives. Like, well, I do this. It's like emotional eating. It's like, okay, when I'm craving things, I try to ask myself, what am I really craving? What am I really wanting? What's really going on here? And if it's like, well, instead of going to go eat a entire apple pie, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to get into peace. I'm going to get into, different surroundings and to see what happens, right? And even denying things, like going, no, I'm not going to have that. Sometimes it's like, well, maybe if I just have a little piece, I don't have to eat the entire thing. But if I deprive myself and deprive myself and deprive myself of something, that's um maybe not the healthiest thing, but that's where binge eating and things happen when we try to overdo it, when we feel we're depriving ourselves. But again, getting into that emotional understanding of what habits were formed, in our minds too. Yeah. And we have the 7 of cups, all the emotional confusion when it comes back down to this power of realizing I'm choosing what I'm feeling in each moment. And if I'm just on autopilot, that means the subconscious thoughts and beliefs and emotions of lower vibration are in it. And so when I just step back into my power and realize I'm the one that gets to choose, these things. Yeah. And you've got all this energy. Again, Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, finding out if I love myself, then I'll feed myself healthy things. If I love myself, then I'm aware of what I'm putting into my eyes and my ears, my nose, my mouth, my body. You know, I when I love myself, I treat my body and my life like I love it. And if I'm not, then it's okay. Where is the broken, not broken, but the broken link in the chain, right? It's like, okay, what's hindering me? And looking into that. You also have the Queen of Cups and the Hermit card here. Queen of Cups, she's the master of emotion, dives deep. Hermit, here's that Hermit card again. That energy that we talked about with, when Kurt was talking about the inner knowing. This is that call to um, get into self and understand everything that's happening is within me, that the world is just as it is, but my brain is going to create stories around that neutral world that's happening on the outside, going, well, obviously when someone yells at me, it means they hate me or there's something wrong with me. It's like, no, someone yelling is simply someone communicating at a higher volume to get our attention. And okay, well, you got my attention. Let me see what's going on, instead of feeling like I'm scared. And that's what generally happens is our little child self feels unsafe and out of control when someone yells, because someone yelled at us earlier and we got in trouble in our lives. So we have this connection of, so loud volume from someone's mouth means I've done something wrong and I'm going to be punished. Whoop whoop. And then where are we? We're out of our brains. We're a little 2-year old and it's pet hissing cat reacting and in fear, right? So hopefully that helps a little bit there. All right. And all right. Hey, Magana. Shout out to another one of my YouTube channel members. Hello, hello. Let's see, Jeep. So, and thank you, Supernova, for your multiple donations. So next we've got Johanna, and then Supernova, and then Brenda, and then Infinity, and then Jeep, and then HTT TPS, and then Oksana. So that's the donations that I have going on right now. So, Johanna, thank you so much. Let's give your donation some love and a like there. Oh, and I saw Happy Pill. Sorry, Happy Pill, I didn't see you embedded in there. And Kritika Malhotra. So, some more of my YouTube channel members there. So sorry I overlooked those. Oh, good to see you guys. All right. So, Johanna, happy Friday to you. You want to get an energy check with Jay? Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see what's going on with energy regarding Jay. All right. Well, they want that one. Let's see what else we got here. Low flying little plane outside. Don't know if you guys can hear that. It was pretty loud. All right. That was there. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. All right. Well, it looks really interesting here. Bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Wands, which is joy, celebration, gatherings. It's the marriage card, but I don't feel like that's the energy of it right now. But it's stable attraction. Two wands and two wands on either side represent, that kind of energy. So there's mutual attraction energy that's going on here. You got the 10 of Cups too, which is joy and celebration and overflowing emotions. And we've also got the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, new beginnings, birth, sensuality. That's coming in here as well. So this energy that's below the surface when we're looking at, what is going on inside of them and the energy that's flowing here. And it feels very positive. It feels like there's this joy and this, way that they look at things, you know, and just it feels like something that's growing. It feels like something that their heart is filling up, and they, of course, with this mutual attraction and the sensuality of the Queen of Pentacles, there's this physical and energetic attraction between the two of you below the surface, right? And I feel like with the celebration card of the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups, there's this energy too of, they smile, there's this brightness, they see things, but, I feel like there's lack of action, if that makes sense, because we've got here the other three cards that come in here are the Five of Swords, which I feel like is about the internal conflict between their head and their heart. But then after that, you've got the Four of Swords, which is peace of mind. So it's 5, 4, and then it jumps to 6. So things are kind of out of order in their head. You're like, no kidding, right? But the Six of Swords, when you start off with the 5, which is the confusion, and then you get the either cards on either side of it, it shows this out of orderness, right? It's supposed to not supposed to go, naturally. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? But this is like 5, 4, 6. It's I feel like there's just some hesitation that goes into their this battling between their head and their heart. But what their peace of mind, when they have peace of mind, then the conflict is resolved within them, and then that's when the Six of Swords comes, where they leave behind thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve them anymore, that, allows them to leave behind those things, move into new ways of thinking, has movement then. But whatever this battle that's going on inside of them, that's what has to be put to rest. Some of these fears, some of this battling that's going on, a lot of stuff in their stories in their head, which are, of course, inherited from the past, that keeps them from moving forward. And, when I get the Five of Swords around, relationships with people of any kind, romantic or friends or whatever, it's this um, the brain's mistrust of the heart, because the heart leaped forward in the past going, "I wanna love," and then they made bad choices. This is the brain thinking that, though. "You made bad choices. I can't let you off your leash. I have to hold you on." But then it's like someone walking um, a dog that hasn't been trained, and it just, it's always pulling, going, um, because it doesn't know, just if you just back off and walk with me, you won't be choking yourself on your collar. And I feel like that's what's going on between the head and the heart of them. But they've got all that energy that's below the surface there. And but I feel like they glow when they're interacting with you. But I think that might be what sometimes could be confusing, is you're like, well, if you're so happy, why aren't you acting on this? Well, the heart acted on happiness before, several times, it feels like, and the brain was not happy with the outcome. So they're like, no, let me be in charge of that. And it's like the heart's all pouting, but it needs to have that equaling and balancing out between the head and the heart, which I feel like with that Four of Swords, that's what they're talking about there. So hopefully that makes sense. and resonates, and that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you, and thank you again so much for your donation, Johanna. All right, Supernova. So number 4, thank you so much for the heart stickers and the donation. They want to know, what do your spirit guides say about your family, how you act around situations that are not your business, and what family say about you with their discrimination. All right, you don't know how to feel about that. I love that you're asking, like, well, I don't know how I'm like, how am I supposed to feel about that? I don't know how to feel about it. Well, how are you feeling about it, right? Because that's what comes up, you know, from within us. And, the first thing we look at is, what am I feeling? And, what fears are there? Because anything that happens in our life is happening for us. So if I having triggers that pop up because of interactions, then I get to question and understand that, why is that happening? Where is it unfolding? Um, so, we definitely have, um, that coming in first. So let's take a look here, though. And you want to know, what do your spirit guides say about your family? Um, how you act around situations that are not your business. All right. So let's take a look here. So, what guidance and awareness around family here? Yeah, the energy on the bottom of the deck, you've got the King of Cups, which is, they balance their head and their heart. And, so when it comes to, acting around situations that are not your business, um, you know, the King of Cups is like this very compatible individual. And it's amazing that when you're around situations that are not your business, then you mind your own business, right? I mean, it's freedom, and I love the energy of release. Like, when we feel like, "Oh, I'm supposed to make everyone happy. I'm supposed to stand up, to people," and, if they have their discriminations, and that's when you take a lower vibrational story, a lower vibrational feeling like discrimination, when you replace that with fear, any of the lower vibrational, and just call it what it is at its core, fear, then it allows us to see things differently. Because when our story of discrimination, there's a whole big story that comes with that, right? And it's all the ways that humans act out of fear. We have all of these, stories around, oh, what does that mean? Oh, that's what that means. That's what that means. That's what that means. But when we bring it down to fear, when we realize, and we create a different story in our head, that when any human is acting out of fear, they're a little 2-year-old, like I say, with their little pet hissing cat whispering in their ear. You should do this, right? Hiss and attack, and then hiss and run away, or attack and then run away, and so little when humans are in fear, they're going to do stupid stuff because we're a 2-year-old. 2-year-olds are stupid. They don't have the smarts yet. Their brain hasn't developed yet, so they're not intelligent because they're only acting emotionally. They either cry, pout, laugh, or hit, right? So, when you realize, okay, this is what, when my family, is acting out of fear, well, I can join them in fear and have another 2-year-old in the mix, or I can take a big deep breath and realize, this isn't about me. This is about their fears. This is about what's going on inside of them, which you may not even know. What's triggering them, something from their past that they haven't talked about usually. And so, when we realize people's actions are a cry, like when people "Ah," it's a cry for help, it's a cry for love, because they're in fear, they want to feel safe, they want to feel in control again. they're going to do whatever they can to feel safe again. So if we remain calm with the King of Cups, who's beautifully balanced between head and heart, it changes our interactions with everyone because then we're not reacting and escalation. That's something I learned in by through the hard way working in a call center, especially when I worked on a resolution team or escalated call team. When listening to so many phone calls to find out how did we get here to this person yelling on a phone. I would listen to the original call coming in on the representative that ended up transferring it to one of my reps, transferring it to my coach, one of my coaches, and then um, to me. And I would be like, okay, wow, I can see where when the each person got defensive by the customer attacking them, it would escalate. It would escalate. It would escalate. And then it was, I learned like the hard way when trying to tell them what was going on and they didn't want to hear it. I'm like, what's important is in the beginning is to empathize and to really let people there that they're being heard, not getting defensive myself, taking, deep breaths when they're saying personal things, "Well, you sound like you don't even know what you're doing," and I'm like, "Not even started to help you yet," in my head, right? And I'm like, "Oh, I hear where you're coming from, and I really do wanna help you today." So, and I hear where you're coming from, that's very frustrating, and I'm not just saying that, I've had experiences, I know when I call in my credit card, blah, 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 and they'd be like, "Alright, you get it," and then without me going, "Rah!" With me staying here, with them being up here, it kinda just is like deflating a blow up mattress. It's like the less that we're blowing air into it, the more people come down to where so many times people would apologize afterwards. Like, I'm so sorry that I was so rude in the beginning. I was just so frustrated. And go, I know. In my mind, I'm going, they were scared. This is something that was triggering them. And there's people who can be adults 99% of the time, but there's one trigger and they flip out, and you're like, what had just happened? Right. And there's some people that are 50% of the time triggering because of so much trauma that they had as well. So it's a great thing to be able to see those, types of energies and understanding that. And let's take a look here. That was just the bottom of the deck. So I feel like that they're just going to reiterate a lot of that. They just didn't want to like step away from that. But here's that Ace of Swords coming in again, seeing things from a different perspective. And this is about communicating differently too. With Ace of Swords, it's swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, but also our communication. And so it's like communicating differently. And like in the beginning, a lot of transformation of how we deal with people, especially family or close friends or whatever, it's shutting up and going, you know what? I could say something here, but it's none of my business. I'm just going to nod and people say just nod and smile. But if they're going through something horrible, don't smile, but just nod and, you know, hear from your heart and not from the head, right? And we've got the 9 of wands. No one can hear, when we're trying to communicate through um, walls, right? That was the big thing in if we're, with escalating uh, conversations and interactions with people, is if I'm defensive, my walls are up. If they're defensive, their walls are up. And how can you communicate through brick walls? All you hear is and you're assuming you heard what you thought you heard, and then you're back, and they're like, how dare they at me? And so when these walls come down, when I bring my walls down, or that I don't allow them to go up, or they're starting to go up, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Let's breathe and bring those back. Then that allows, a different type of interaction in the outside world, right? Emotional stability and the solid foundation of our worth in the outside world are very important, with all of this coming in here too. Because, we've got this, you know, energy of when we define ourselves by other people's actions in the outside world, then we feel unstable, right? And when we really learn to turn inward for our definition of our worth, then we don't freak out about what other people are doing on the outside world as much either. So there's about this coming into emotional stability, our calmness in those family situations, realizing that they're doing things, out of fear. And so, you know, what your family says about you isn't about you. So why invest in that, right? What they're saying, just imagine all these people like in these big bathrooms where there's mirrors in front of all the sinks that are there, and they're standing there saying stuff. They're talking to themselves. When you realize that, then it's like, okay. And when you realize all of your thoughts, everything you're thinking and saying about them is also you standing in a mirror going, I don't like how you discriminate. It's like, oh, I don't like how you discriminate. How am I discriminating to myself, discriminating to others? What are the thoughts that are judging people? And discrimination is judging people for who they are, how they act, whatever color, all the stuff that we everyone judges everyone, right? There's discrimination of gender, sexual preference, nationality, and even how people are. You're quiet. You're too quiet. You're too loud. It's like the three bears, Goldilocks syndrome. I want to find something that's just right for me. Well, that doesn't mean everything else. Uh, you know, can be fine for someone else, but not for me. We can be all discriminatory in our own heads, right? And like I expect of my family, I have a higher bar for, or for these people, or for that, I have a different judgment for them than anyone else. I'm being discriminatory, right? Well, my mom isn't supposed to say that to me. My dad isn't supposed to say that. And my brother isn't supposed to say that. You know, that's discriminatory. It's like we're all beautiful beings of unconditional love and light. So hopefully that helps a little bit there. Supernova with that. All right. So many blessings to you. All right. Yeah. Hey, Timmy. Yeah, I'm doing well. Love 1234. Well, say the list right now. So we are Brenda is next, and then Infinity is one, and then Jeep two for Jeep, and then HTTPS, and then Oksana, and then Swaroop, and then Patty. So that's where we're at right now. So if you consider that long, but that's what the list is. So we'll continue. And Brenda, you're up next. Thank you so much for the rainbow unicorn. I love them. And thank you for your donation. And you wanted to know thoughts and feelings and actions from Eric towards you today. Where is this relationship headed? He hasn't communicated since past Saturday. Yeah. So we'll pull here based on current energies without you doing anything. Where is this headed? Okay. All right. Thoughts, feelings, what's going on with him here? All right. Just grab these over here. Turn all these over and see what is happening here. Yeah. The energy on the bottom of the deck, I mean, they've got the Two of Pentacles, which is this energy of cycles and physical choices that they're making in the outside world. Yeah. You know, they've, so much of the core here, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is the feelings of abandonment, of lack, of being left out in the cold. And I think we've talked a little bit about how they tend to um you know revert back to these people's actions mean I'm not good enough, and they fear this rejection, they fear this abandonment, and they've had a lot of abandonment when they were like an emotional child, 7 years old and younger, right? So they got a lot of that they revert to. It's part of their cycle of doing that, right? And they whenever they experience this feeling like, okay, someone's unhappy with me, that means they're going to leave me, they're going to reject me, and so they withdraw. The Empress here with the Ace of Pentacles underneath those cards, or they're actually in between those cards, is all about their trying to find their worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. So they revert back this Empress is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, self care. They go back into self preservation, and so they don't realize if they will just you know go into this church here that they would get out of the cold and find assistance, but they just revert to this thought and belief that no, people abandon you, people do that. And so their feelings and energy that they have, we've got the Knight of Wands and the Tower, and they tend to react. This Knight of Wands is like a frying pan that just heats up like that. I think we might have talked about that too with him. But, they just heat up and they make rash decisions. The lightning strikes and they're just like, okay, I I'm 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 gone. It's like they'll just run because they don't want to fight. They whenever someone's in fear, you either go into fight mode or flight mode, or like a cat does, they like hiss, attack, and then run. And I feel like they more are more a runner, where they withdraw because of this mother nature, mother nurture. And the Nine of Cups too, which the Nine of Cups is this, you know, this finding their love on the inside, having this, really let's say unrealistic dreams come true, which we're all given that growing up, aren't we? Like, I'm gonna meet the perfect person and they're gonna love me no matter what, and it's all gonna be smooth sailing. And we're like, "You haven't sailed, have you?" There's no smooth sailing for long, long, the wind's gonna change, a storm's gonna come. It's all about weathering the storms. But I feel like this unrealistic view of what a relationship can be that they're looking for in their head makes them run when they feel like it's not unfolding. When the first sign of turbulence, it's like, oh, okay, we can't do that. And we do come back to here again with the Five of Swords. A lot of inner conflict going on here. They don't like conflict, so they'll run from conflict, and they'll run from things that are rejection, which um, happens when especially when we also have some of that where we will run, and we're like, at the first sign, not the first sign, but if we have signs of like, well, this isn't going very well, it's like, do you want this or not? That triggers them. That's the sound of rejection. You are you going to do what I want you to do, or is this over? That sounds like rejection, right? And that could be not what you're saying, but that's what they're hearing, right? So they are in this, Two of Wands, is they go back and forth with their energies, and it feels almost a bit, you know, um, you know, um, like this I don't say bipolar, but it just and really every human is bipolar. If you look at it, when we're in fear, we act completely different. When we're not in fear, we can act loving and compassionate and intelligent, but when we're in fear, we act totally different things, right? So but I feel like they are quick to revert because of again, we're conditioned so much growing up that if, especially if you had an abusive parent, that if you spoke up and you the first times you stood up, you got beat or you got whatever, you have to like react quickly, and especially if parents are acting that way. So I definitely feel like they had a challenging childhood, even more than, you know, a lot of people. We all have challenging childhoods, but some people really have it rough where they have two parents that are both, you know, unstable in extreme ways, which makes their childhood very rough from very early. So it makes sense, why they do what they do. Doesn't mean it's right, you know. It just is what it is, and we either, are gonna be patient with them and their journey, or we just observe from a distance, right? So hopefully that makes sense there because they are here. We've got 2 number 8s. They're trying to flow with their life. They're really focusing in on the job. They revert back. Their higher self is trying to, um, they're bringing them on this journey for them to face their worth in relationship to the outside world. And right now, their relationship to the outside world really has a lot to do with, um, defining themselves by the things of the outside world, and they gave them any solid was like school, like their teachers were proud of them for what they did, and you know really gave them kudos, and so their support was their teachers. And then when they graduated, then their bosses became that source. And so when they're like pouring themselves into their job, it's because that's where they're searching for their validation. But what's unfolding with them is, that they're having this, when a relationship is something else they would define themselves by, their jobs, education, their money, their possessions, all those outside world things, instability comes in. This is what's shaking them up here. So, Brenda, I just really feel like if spirit's saying this, they just kind of put it all out there. This is who they are and where they're at right now. And if you feel like it's not compatible, like you have to change them and see their potential and fall in love with their potential. If you can't love it now, then maybe it's best to allow it to just go and look at what inside of you, what you've learned up through all of this, right? Doesn't work out, it helps you for your future relationships. And it can be that way. So hopefully that helps, Brenda. Hang in there, my dear. And thank you again for your donation. All right. And then infinity is 1. You are up. So let's give that some love and a like there. Thank you so much for that donation. And I think you asked right above here, right? Would it be good to visit your friend's sport club again? All right. Oh, sorry. That'll be your free one later. The donation does have the question right on it. Maybe I need another sip of my coffee real quick. Let's wake up. All right. So your question for your donation is, what's the current and future energy between you and RM? All right. All right. Future energy. That one and that one and that one. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right. Well, there's definitely some I was going to say some barriers and challenges to get through with this one. Because the bottom of the deck, I mean, we've got the 3 of cups, which is, you know, third party situation, which I don't know if when we're looking at these cards, there's this You got all this power of choice coming in. Yeah, and definitely seeing things from a different perspective with the sorry, you can't even see those, they were so bright. Got the ace of swords, the two of swords, the chariot card, all this power of choice and seeing things from a different perspective. I feel like, you know, and I don't feel like that like there's this relationship that you have and they cheat on you kind of energy. I just feel like the idea or the insecurities and beliefs around third party situations is what is a struggle with this because so much of this, I mean, the first card that came out is the Knight of Swords, which is a quest about seeing things from a higher perspective and cutting away some old, like some old beliefs and different things regarding that. And I feel like they're either, like, really still getting over someone and they're what they're showing to me in my brain is, like, when you have a date with someone and all they do is talk about their ex, and you're like, "Well, obviously, you're not over them yet. You should, you know, get counseling or go try to work it out with them, because obviously you're already living with them in your head," right? And, there is this, you know I feel like that's where this third party thing comes in is like, okay, understanding where this is coming from. And overcoming here, we got these two came out together, the Nine of Swords, which is the nightmare and insomnia card, and the Ten of Cups, which is about this emotional joy together, right? But here's all these fears. Sorry for the glare there, all these fears that are coming in around it. And it is about in order to have 10 of cups there needs to be facing these fears, these thoughts, these beliefs, these mindsets that we have around that, right? So um so we've got that, and then there's also, it just feels like there's, again, this is all about thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. The Devil card, Saturn energy, Capricorn energy, battling and having our thoughts and our beliefs and our mindsets challenged around what are things are supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, all the stuff that we've grown up with. This is what's required, right? To have peace of mind, we have to look and be facing with these fears. Otherwise, they're bubbling below the surface and always making themselves known here. So I feel like there's a great amount of mistrust around third party, and I don't know if it's both sides. I just feel like it's very strong there. So maybe it is both sides because I definitely feel it's on theirs. And obviously, if it's on yours, where you're like, yeah, I've had it before, and I have trouble trusting that someone can be faithful and that someone wouldn't try to go, outside of the relationship. Because it does feel like there's this energetic barrier with the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Again, they have like the what has to happen in order for something to happen, was all those cards. And in order to experience new passion and stepping into our power, we really have to understand this. You know, what is the barrier? What is this that's keeping me, held back? And I feel like that's what they're, wanting you to look into just to understand those energies, right? So I feel like that's what they're wanting you to know with that there. So your current and future energy. So, the future energy depends so much on doing those things, doing I don't want to call it work because it feels like work, but um, taking the time to um, look at what all those things mean inside of you is what allows, you to step into those, the new passion, the new way of looking at things, 10 cups, joyful type of energy, peace of mind, not the mind that overworks on, I wonder what they're doing, where they at, how come they haven't texted me back right away, what's going on, right? All those things that go in there. So hopefully that helps, Infinity. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. All right, Jeep Jeep, you are up. So thank you for your patience and for your dual donations. We'll give the first one a love and a like here. And you're wanting to know, you're looking for a job. What does Spirit want you to know about it? All right. All right. So let's take a look here. Just refreshing the cards here. All right. So let us take a look here. So, looking for a job. What does Spirit want you to know about a new job? All right. All right. So you do have the Two of Pentacles coming in here, which I do show here. There's things are about to change. This is about balancing in the outside world here. But I feel like even underneath that, you've got the High Priestess number two, which the High Priestess, of course, steps back, looks at options, connects higher, goes behind the veil, dives deep into emotions. But this two definitely, I feel like there's going to be two opportunities that are coming up. One is going to be take a little longer than the other because the first one though is a passion here. You mean this is something that you're really, really, really on fire about and interested in that will eventually unfold, and it's worth the wait for that one. So I feel like you might even have like an opportunity to do a job to wait for this other thing to unfold because the temperance going back and forth with those cups is this energy of uh slowly turning into gold and then suddenly boom it turns to gold, but it's a process. It's a lengthy process for that one. And then you have one that there is this job that takes a lot of work with that 10 of wands. And then the Nine of Cups, though, it helps you in pursuit of your heart's desire, with this Knight of Cups that's on a quest here. So I feel like you're going to have two options that comes in here. And like I said, one feels like, well, that's gonna take a long time, and you have to, like I don't know if you have to do interviews or maybe you have to it's a passion of yours, though, so it might be like there's something else you have to do, like all the not that you have to jump through hoops, but you have to, like, take certain tests, do certain things, maybe even if you have to get a certification of some kind or something. It just takes time for that one to unfold, and maybe it's because it's, um maybe this is the job coming up in the foreign country because I feel like there's paperwork and things that processes that are involved in order for it to happen. Let me just verify that real quick here. Yeah, I have the four of swords, so it is mental stability, but there's a lot of communication that has to go back and forth. And yeah, the swords is telling me paperwork, paperwork, paperwork with that. So I feel like if you've been looking for something in another country, I just feel like that one takes a little bit longer. But the ten of wands, it's like there's a job that, yeah, but it's and at least it just helps you get to where you're wanting to go, but it brings you some peace that comes into just I feel like it allows you to um, really be in control of your energy each day because I feel like where you're at now, it just feels like um, every day that you go in, it's just like you feel like you're going into prison every day. And then you feel like released when you get to end your work day. This other one is like, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it moves you emotionally in a happy way, the like a job to help you move to this other one here. So I like it. You're gonna juggle them, like the two pentacles is juggling the two that you're like, while I'm working on this process and getting going in that direction, you're finding this other thing that's it kicks your butt, like, "Okay, I'm gonna really invest a lot of energy in this other job that I do," but I feel like you have the emotional energy you have just helps you be energetic and able to do it, where I feel in the one right now, it's so emotionally draining, it's difficult for you to have energy to do things, if that makes sense. Prison. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, it's just a feeling of going into a sweatshop and it's like, what they showed me is like prisoners working in a laundry. You know how in a prison they do that? That's what they showed me. I'm like, "Oh, feels like prison." It's like, "Oh, here we go. I'm going to go in." It's sweating and loud and blah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I feel like, you might have to choose something that you have to work harder at, but you're gonna have the energy to do it. Yeah. So yeah, so definitely look at that. All right. So it feels positive there for you. And so I just feel like you just need to be looking and you'll find them. You'll find both of them. Just continue. Let me see. Just wanted to ask about timing. Hey, you got the world card. So when asking about timing, and this is ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. So it's like right here. It's like at your fingertips. So I feel like it's much, much sooner than later. So just got to be looking out there, looking for it. And yeah, hopefully that makes sense. All right. And then let's take a look here. Maybe we'll get see if it's going to be for April because you wanted a general for the rest of April. So let's give that some love and a like there and see what comes through here. So what else would you like to know for the month of April? All right, there. Do you want that one and that one? Oh, the bottom one. Okay. What else? Anything else? All right. All right. All right. Well, good. Well, so we definitely have here. I mean, you've got the bottom of the deck. You have the Knight of Swords, which is movement of communication and pursuit of seeing things from a different perspective. I like this. I feel like with this horse, they're showing me like a horse who's delivering messages. It's like they're showing me just like a king is sending a message, an important message, and they're riding so strong just to deliver this message. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of um, uh, communication going back and forth between you and a lot of people. A lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of different areas. I feel like it's write things down. I feel like you're gonna get so much information, so much communication, both job, family, planning, all this stuff. I just feel like you're gonna be, get a notepad, get some new pens because you're gonna be writing a lot of stuff down, it feels like. Um, yeah, because you've got the two of wands and the five of wands. So transformation of energy here, conflicting energy that turns into peace. I like that because that does feel like maybe this is the month that you do get some relief from the conflict that you're having. But it does have to do with your power of how much energy you're putting in here, and you can see how they're like um, grabbing their world and taking ownership of your world, realizing that you're drawing in what you're wanting, right, in your life. And a big piece, which we've talked about, which I feel like it's always so good to realize how powerful we are. Whatever I focus on is what I draw to me. So if I focus on, like, I'm in prison, I hate my job, blah, 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 we're telling the universe, I really love having a job that I hate. Can I keep this one? And they're like, sure, if you want. But instead, if we start focusing on gratitude, what I've loved in my job, what I've loved in other jobs that I've had and other things, then that tells the universe, I love having a job that I enjoy, that, I have these things, and they'll bring you a job or a position that will have you feel that way, right? So a big piece of the rest of April with the movement of conflicting energy has to do with your energetic choices, right? How often am I focused on what I'm wanting and I'm missing and I'm fearing and I'm hating, right? I just feed that. I grow it. I attract it to us. It was funny spirit. I think it was last night or night before during one of my member sessions where they were like showing me, if there's a lion walking in the distance and I go, I sure hope that lion doesn't attack me. Hey, lion, I hope you don't attack me. Well, it didn't even recognize us until my energy has invited it to me, right? So there is this, energy, that's coming in here. It's like, okay. So being aware of that and, two, it feels like you are taking steps here towards your dream with the 9 of Cups, trusting and, doing the daily tasks, doing the work to make your dreams come true, right? This is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. The 9 of Cups is all about emotional wish fulfillment and overflowingness. And so I feel like, when they're showing me with the 7 of Pentacles, I got to till the ground. I got to take out all the old plants that have died, get rid of the stuff that's taking up space that, I can replace it with something that's going to grow, removing the things that are not growing, tilling the soil, putting some good compost in it so it's, really feeds that soil, planting the stuff that I want, watering it, making sure it's getting sunlight, which, you know, in reality, we don't control the sun, but shining bright light upon higher vibrational energy, even, what movie was it? There was a movie that I watched where people were giving energy to the plants, and it was helping them grow, helping them be more fruitful, and it's putting that positive energy into that. So I do like that. I feel like this is an important, a very busy month. I feel like it's going to really take, you know, has a great opportunity for it to really ignite because of this, you know, energy that's coming in here. But it has to do with what energy we're putting forward as to how fast things will grow, right? If we're given a lower vibrational energy, then it poops out. I don't know if you have ever seen there's actually videos out there where they did experiments and they did it with ice and water, but they also did it with plants where they just had plants grow without doing anything, just the normal stuff, right? Sun and water, blah. And so they would grow. Then they had plants that of the same seedlings and everything, where they spoke harshly and spoke hateful things, and the plants didn't grow as much as the whatever they call the you know fixed one. And then they took a third set and they spoke love and they spoke light and brightness, and they grew so much more significantly from, of course, than the negative ones, but even amongst the ones that were just neutral. So it shows us that whatever we focus our energy on, if it's love and light and bright, it grows and it's just, whoosh, but if it is the, lower vibrational, it stunts our growth. So I feel like that's an important thing here. It feels a very positive month, though. Very busy, a lot of things to do. It's just a matter of managing your energy moment to moment as much as you can. I talk about putting an alarm on your phone to have a cartoon movie to come back to, coming back to, you know, higher vibration. We get drawn out into the lower vibration. Every half hour, a little vibrating alarm that just brings me back to gratitude and higher vibration as I get sucked back out into the world. And then I bring it back. So the most that we can, keep bringing it back is an important piece of it. Yeah, I love it for you though. That's what they have there for you, Jeep Jeep, and then I'll get to your free one eventually, probably later this afternoon. So I have a ton of donations. Thank you guys so much. It's how I make my living and how I'm able to offer all the free stuff I do. So thank you for the donations. It definitely helps me. And for anyone new, I if I don't, well, lately I haven't gotten to all the free readings. Sometimes none of them, but in the first session. But I do come back on because I know not everyone can make donations, and so I do like to come on later before my evening session and complete the free reading. So thank you for guys for your patience and thanks for all the thumbs up too. It's something everyone can do to help spread the Zen love. And so it really helps me out. And I really appreciate all of you that do that. Thank you. All right. So we'll continue going down the list here. So HTTPS, thank you so much for your donation. Let me give that a love and a like there. And you'd like messages from your spirit team? Absolutely. Let's take a look here. All right. That one. And those there. Okay. And those there. All right. So we got here. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All this balancingness here. All right. Well, we start off the main message on the bottom of the deck for you is patience, grasshopper, patience. Things are unfolding. It is a kind of a not necessarily a promise, but there is definitely this, that things are unfolding, things are going and unfolding for you. Yeah. Seven of Wands, this is about being the sun, not dimming your light, not feeling you have to defend your life, um, you know, not asking permission to shine, just making sure that you are shining your light. It's an important thing to not compress yourself, not minimize yourself. You got the Hermit card and the Four of Pentacles here is about the home energy, about stability in the outside world. But the combination of the Hermit card and the Home card is like, um, it's important for you to keep your alone time and to take the time to be with yourself. So I don't know if you've been really, really busy and you've been, super, so outwardly turned, but there definitely is this. It's time for rest, it's time for you. This balancing energy that's coming in with all of this is an important piece here as well. Yeah. We really have here the next two cards that came out. You've got the Lovers card, which is power of emotional choice, and the Two of Wands, which is power of energetic choice, really. And I feel like that there is this adjustment that's coming in here. Yeah, you have this rebirth that's coming in. I feel like there's been something lately that's just uh, a mistrust. I don't know if it's a mistrust of the world or of yourself or of individuals or something, because you got the Seven of Swords, and this is the realization of, okay, what is of my thoughts and beliefs and mindsets? What's the truth of things? Why am I believing in these things? Why am I allowing these beliefs to steal from me? I like that you have the Seven of Wands that, it's like this empowerment that comes in here between the two of these, but it just feels like there's this mistrust that's coming in, death and rebirth. So I feel like this mistrust does have to do, I mean, one, it's important for you to question those and transform this mistrust that you have of society, of businesses, of, whatever it is. It just feels like there's hesitancy because you don't trust something. You can trust spirit, And I feel like that's a big piece of why they're wanting you to, come to this, hermit and to really understand who is in charge. It's like the humans are not in charge. Thank God, because we are a fickle species that does so many stupid things out of fear, right? But I feel like it's realizing and really clarifying, getting these old thoughts and beliefs that are bubbling down below the surface and bringing them forward. I just feel like there's an important awareness. And if you're unsure of those things, you do have the Eight of Wands, which is getting back your energy and having this power return back to you. And it has to do here with messages from spirit too. Eight of Wands, it's like tons and tons of messages that come in from spirit here. And there is a lot of showing you things in the outside world, having things just drop into your head, emotional energy messages, just energetic messages in general. But a lot of communication here around this particular subject that's coming into your life. And I feel you know, like they're saying, hey, we're the head people in charge, and it's like, hey, you know, I, I'm um you know, and when I say I, it's like they're saying, "You're not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode because of humans." There's such it's like you're on a monorail train at Disney World that, has it's attached to the track so it can't fly off. Has its exact, times that it, um, stops and goes, and there's all this stuff. There's so much in store. Like there's just higher plans for you that you may not be aware of, and that you feel like, okay, I'm am I worthy of this? It just feels like there's this cracking of some thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that come in here for you. But so I feel like that's what the big message is spending some time with spirit so that they can help you, put an end to that and have this, transformation that comes in with those. So hopefully that makes sense. But definitely you got even Ace of Swords on the bottom with, seeing things from a higher perspective and seeing the clarity and seeing the world through different eyes. And but the big piece is that you're realizing whatever this is that needs to be um, removed to have you to move forward. So I like that for you. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It felt kind of discombobulated a little bit, but I feel like that's the clarity of mind that they're trying to bring to you, is bring all these different things together, and it's important for you to step away and just allow rest and reflection with spirit, to give you the answers and release you from some things. So that's what's coming in for you. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again so much for your donation there. All right. And then Oksana, we are to you. So thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that some love and a like here. You want to know Alfred's feelings for you and future of your connection. All right, let's take a look here and see what's going on with their feelings inside and what's this future connection. All right. All righty. Okay. Yeah, I do see here. Oh, wow, they got even two fives in a row here. But they definitely have these, this confliction that's going on between them, just in general, not like towards you, but they have this inner conflict, and the Hierophant here, their higher self, has them on this journey of understanding themselves more. And I feel like a big piece, they have great energies here. Nine of Cups is their feelings for you. They feel full and overflowing. I mean, it's like a dream come true type of emotional. So they definitely feel this and have this, draw, emotional draw that's there. I just feel like they're still getting over some long held heartache and heartbreak. The temperance card here is patience card. It's, they go back and forth between those cups there, and then the three of swords, obviously heartbreak, disappointments. And this is not with you, this is like from the past. I just feel like they're slowly healing from some old ways of feeling, and that's what's been keeping them back from wanting to, being able to. They feel like they haven't been able to open their heart because these 3 swords, so tender. It's like trying to walk on a foot that you've had foot surgery on, It's like, "Ow, can't walk on that yet. I need to let it heal some more." And I feel like that's what's going in there. I feel like they've got passion, definitely here with the King of Wands, and this is a bridal passion or, um a controlled passion. The king is very, it's not like the knight of wands who's like you know, a little say I think I can say it on YouTube. A horny little chihuahua humping everyone's legs. No, no, it's not that. It's a very controlled and focused passion that they have here. And I feel like this is what just expands and unfolds between the two of you. I mean, ultimately, you do have the Lover's card for the final card with is coming in here. So it does show you that, this is the future based on current energies. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get there because, they are working through that heartache and heartbreak, and they need that to be able to move forward and feel that even on the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah, we have to do both of these because you got the sun card, victory, beautiful brightness. 10 of pentacles is the, of course you've got the, whoops, wrong one. You've got the couple and the child and the dogs and the ancestry and all the coins and the palace. It's the full picture. It's one of my relationship cards. So when you get both of those with the sun card, which is abundance and, fulfillment, and the 10 of pentacles is abundance and fulfillment, it feels like a message of it's worth the wait. It just is going to take time to get through there. Um, because they just need to deal with this old disappointments, these old heartbreaks that come in there. So it feels very positive. Just, I know we always love getting patience cards, don't we? Our human doesn't, but that's what's coming in there for you. All right, Oksana. So hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. And then Swaroop Bobby, you are up next. Let's give that some love. Whoops. There goes a love and a like there. And you want to know any new love coming in this month? Let's take a look here. All right. All right. And those two. Okay. So let's see what all this is about here. All right. Okay. Yeah, there's the possibility of love coming in. I'll show you what all this means here because you've got the 6 of swords, which is leaving old ways of thinking and believing behind and moving into new ways. It's definitely a movement card. And oh my gosh, do you have like 3 sixes on the bottom of the deck? You have the 6 of pentacles, which is the balancing of giving and receiving, and the 6 of wands, which can be victory, but also um, equal passions too. So you have 3, do you have any of the other sixes here? No. So, I like this energy because there's this balancedness that comes in with all this. And when I was saying it's a possibility, you have the 4 of cups, which is a new love being offered here with the cup. These are like the other type of relationships you've had in the outside world, but the this Ace of Cups is a new love that can be offered. But along with that Six of Swords, you got the Five and the Eight of Swords. So there is some inner conflict here with this Five of Swords between your head and your heart that has to be transformed, that has to be questioned and looked at. The Eight of Swords is, you becoming aware of whatever your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around relationship have made you feel blinded and bound and trapped in the past. And the Six of Swords being on the bottom of the deck shows that you have the capacity to do so. But if we have and we maintain the same thoughts and beliefs we do now, we're going to keep ending up getting what we've always have gotten. But it's questioning, why do I believe it has to be this way? Any of these beliefs around supposed to, should, need to, have to, must, those types of things. It's like, no, they can't be that way anymore, because those are restricting, they're trapping, they're not allowing you to move forward. The love of your life could walk by and you're like, hello? Hello? You can't see them. You can't do anything about it. In fact, the thing is over your ears too. You're just like, is there someone there? you know? So, there is this energy coming in with that. Um, and, along with this Four of Cups, which is emotional stability and finding that, you've got the Four of Pentacles and the uh, Emperor. And then you've got the Nine of Cups, which is dreams come true, emotional dreams come true. But the reason I'm saying there's a possibility for love that it's not absolutely 100% guaranteed is because, again, the Emperor energy is the Aries energy, the action energy, the Emperor needing to clear out all of these thoughts and these beliefs and all these opinions, them deciding what they truly want and them putting actions. That's you getting rid of all these opinions, going, what do I want? And why do I want it? And then I'm putting a plan together and I'm putting action into it. And I like this. The Nine of Cups is really understanding what does, a relationship, what does an emotional dream come true, represent for me, right? So I like this, the clarity that comes in with all of that. And but it is important that you take action and you have the movement that comes in here. It's all about questioning all of that. Well, they have to be this way and look this way, and this is how we're supposed to meet. And then a lot of who am I supposed to be in a relationship, and what is the relationship supposed to fulfill in your life? Is it supposed to make you feel full and complete? They're showing me Back to the Future. You are my density instead of destiny. It's like getting clarity around what what this love is to be. So hopefully that helps there for you, Swaroop. So there is possibilities, but it just takes questioning these thoughts and beliefs. We're in big retrograde energy too. Perfect energy to look back upon yourself, and you don't want a new relationship starting with someone brand new until after April 25th, April 26th, after Mercury retrograde is direct again, because any relationship started during the Mercury retrograde is short term, unless you want something short term. Or if it's someone that's you already know, that's supported as well. But if it's someone brand spanking new, we don't want to start a relationship with someone until after that. So hopefully that helps too. All right. So many blessings, Swaroop. And then let's take a look here. All right. And then Patty, you are up next. Let me just take a quick sip here. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. It's really loud. Extra hungry today. What's going on? All right. So, Patty, let's give your donation some love and a like there. And you said you dreamt of your late mom and losing your son last night. There was also a cat in the dream. What could that mean? Let's take a look here. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. So we definitely there's a combination of things that's happening, with the dreaming, losing your son, the cat, the dream, the different things coming in. You've got let me just show you the first 3 cards that popped up. You've got the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. There's Mom. 6 of Cups, past life energies, and the 3 of Pentacles, which is about being true to your authentic self and the creativity and this birthing of things. So I feel like the cat piece has to do with newness, with has to do with oh, the 9 lives. That's hilarious. Of the many lives that you've lived. And I feel like there's something that's triggering. We've got a lot of interesting planetary energies. And I feel like there's something that's being activated deep within you that's bringing in past life, remembrances. And that's why I feel like you're probably having some really bizarre dreams that feel unfamiliar. But on the same in the it's also an opportunity for your brain, your subconscious to deal with some fears that are bubbling to the surface as well. Because you've got the King of Swords, who's the master of thinking. He's got 2 parts air, and the King of Cups, which is, again, 1 part air, 1 part emotion. So I feel like a lot of it has to do with fears that we have that are coming up. And I don't know if, like, when your mom passed, because you said late mom, right? Um, I feel like, something's triggering the fear of losing, um, you know, um, your son and the fears that are related to that. If you're, I feel like did you lose your son? I just feel like there's these fears and this stuff that needs to be fears that need to be faced, things that emotions that were pushed down. They're bringing it up to transform it. And I feel like your mom, of course, is making herself known there. She's like, "Yeah, I'm coming in because you're ready to um, process it. You're ready to transform emotions that are related to that." But I feel like a big piece of this is from that. Yeah, you even got the King of Pentacles on the bottom. So there's all these kings coming in. You got a lot of thinking, 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 and around worth and emotional balance, and um, but definitely feels like there's a lot of, man, there's a ton of masculine energy that's here. So, um, you know, think also that there's a difference with sometimes we'll also have characters that'll appear in our dream that are playing characters for us, but it's another form of us. I just feel like there's so much mental energy here with all these 3 kings that you're really working through some fears that are, bubbling up from the surface, but I feel like there's things that you're starting to see in the outside world too, that you're ready, because I feel like our spirit self and our posse will start bringing up things in the outside world and in our dreams to ease us into facing some fears and to transform some emotions and thoughts and beliefs that don't serve us anymore. Because if they just go here, blah, our brain would go and break because it can only take so much L at once. So it's bringing it into our dreams and subconscious, bringing things in from your outside world as well, just to help transform these things. Because it's important, the the 3 of Pentacles too, with about being true to your authentic self, has a lot to do with you know, not being afraid to be yourself and to step out and live without, fearing that we're going to get punished by someone or lose someone's support. And so I feel like there are some changes that are coming in your life where you're wanting to be true to yourself, but still being influenced by some of those fears. And that's what they're trying to bring up so that you can release yourself because they're like, they want you to live this creative you, your authentic you. But I feel like there's some stuff that's been holding you back. And seeing these things is helping you transform that, if that makes sense. Right? So that's what they have for you, Patty. So many blessings to you. Oh, 9 years ago. Okay. Very good. Not very good that she passed away, but that she was there. Yeah, so she's coming back in definitely for a reason. But I do feel a lot that Six of Cups, there's a lot of past life energies that are bubbling to the surface too. It's like they're taking the opportunity to transform some of this older energy and it's like they're combining a lot of stuff together because it's like I don't way they're putting together a recipe, past life and this life, and we're doing all this together. It's just perfect with what they're doing, but definitely a time of transformation that's coming in here for you. And it's like, okay, right. So hopefully that helps. So many blessings to you. And then let's see here. We've got to see when this one came in here. So love 123 or 1154. So all right, so Timmy, you are up first. Let's give that some love and a like there. And you want to know anything about tomorrow's test? What Spirit wants you to know here? All right. I'll try to get through. I'm probably not going to get through all of the donations. I'm only going to be on for about 8 more minutes, so I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. But when I will be back after I spend time with my praying mantis members and eat, and then for those that I don't get to for donations, you'll be up first, and of course I dive deeper into those readings as well. And then, but I will be back. All right. All right. Well, looks pretty good here, Timmy. We got, on the bottom of the deck, you've got this, got the World card, which is a victory card, and the Queen of Swords, which is about the mind. Balancing your heart and your mind too, though. Um, and we do have here, a lot of it depends on your own energy, what you're focusing on when you're doing this. And you got the Page of Swords, which is, again, uh, affirmation here with the magician. One, when we are focusing on fears, where we go out of our minds, it's always important whenever we hear about tests or interviews or whatever. It's like when we're in fear, we do ourselves no good mentally because our little inner child kicks out our intelligent part of us because it doesn't want us standing around thinking. It wants us running or fighting like hell. So when we're in fear around something, we're going to have trouble remembering stuff. So whatever you can do to relax yourself, usually if when you start to feel anxiety, if you take a big deep breath and hold it and then get oxygen, deep oxygen, slow breathing. It gets rid of the adrenaline. It helps us come back to calmness, come back to your brilliant mind, which of course you've been putting in the due diligence around the test, right? You're studying, making sure you're doing all that. But to have access to all that information, any lectures, anything you've read, anything you've studied, you got to calm down. So as much joy as you can have here is important here. I feel like if you can just stay calm, then you have the victory. You do well on the test. It's just a matter of not allowing a little 2-year-old and its pet hissing cat to take the test when we're in fear. It's like, all right, what are we afraid of? You can even ask yourself that. Okay, what if I don't do well on the test? You know what? It's just a test. It's just a check-in in time of how I'm doing. with this subject, but it doesn't define me. And if I have to take a test again or a class again, I will. But it's not, or whatever test this is, it's like, regardless of the outcome, I'm going to be fine. Uh, we tend to care what people think, but it doesn't matter. I like the Six of Cups too. It's, here's all this balanced emotional energy definitely coming in here. So very, very positive, um, positive outcome. Spirit is even there with with the High Priestess. You can ask them if you're having trouble remembering, just just quietly ask your spirit guides, "Hey, I studied this. Can you bring it back to my remembrance?" And they will help you. They'll they'll, you know, lick their finger and touch a memory, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's right." So just know you're not in the test alone, but you've got all your spirit guides helping you as well. So I like that for you, Timmy. So many blessings to you. All right. Right. Let's see. I've got time for probably one more here, and then oh my goodness, there's so many. I'm so sorry that I didn't get through all of the donations and the free readings. I'll definitely be back for. I'm so grateful. You guys just blow me away. So appreciate all of you guys. So Johanna, let's take a look here. Thank you for your extra donation. Let's give that a love and a like. And you want to know, can Spirit give you a little insight on your feelings towards Jay? You feel like there's a storm. All right, let's take a look here. What do they want you to know here about your feelings around Jay? Okay. And well, you've got these energies that are here. I mean, you got the Temperance card, patience, right? And the Nine of Pentacles, which is, about being alone and with spirit. Um, you know, and I don't necessarily feel it's a fear of being alone, because the Nine of Pentacles is telling you with the Temperance card, the time alone, things always happen on purpose for a purpose for us. So if things go slow, it's for us to really, work out things that are below the surface. Yeah. Because you've got some conflicting energy here with the Five of Swords. It's your heart battling your head. And we've got the Four of Pentacles, which represents this, stability in the outside world. But the big lesson that comes with that is when we define ourselves by the outside world, we really, it's very unstable. And so, the storm feeling could be a piece of you that's defining itself by relationships, right? Situations, things, and it's feeling unstable because people are unstable, right? Humans are. When they're in fear, they are, people do stupid stuff, right? They are, people die, people pass away, people walk away, and people do, like I said, crazy stuff when they're in fear. And so sometimes when we're looking at our worth, and there's some old beliefs around, I define myself by their actions or non-actions, their words or their silence, that means something about me. That's what we're taught. Uh-oh, mom is ignoring me, I did something wrong, she's giving me the cold shoulder now, or oh, dad's yelling at me, I must have done something wrong. It's about us. We take other people's actions as a definition of who we are. You have the Moon card too, which is this energy about the unseen bubbling up from the surface, as well as the Queen of Swords, the balancing between the head and the heart. So here's that energy again of the head and the heart that are at war in some way here. Um, and the moon energy is about, it's bringing some stuff up from the surface to be looked at through your interactions with them, through your feelings and energy towards Jay. Now, moon card also, be aware of moon cycles, of what sign the moon is in. I feel like you're very influenced by the moon's energy, and it changes every 2 to 3 days. So if you feel like there's an emotional storm, really look at the astrology, really look at, you know, what sign the moon is in. What are we in right now today? I didn't check it this morning yet. How dare I not be aware of my moon? Because it was in Gemini. Yeah, it's still in Gemini until Saturday when it enters Cancer sign. So that Gemini, there's that, twins battling in our head energy coming in here. A lot of thinking, maybe. And then we're moving into Cancer sign tomorrow. So emotional energy that's popping in here. But I do feel like there is the battling that's going on. That's why it feels like a storm, because there's something below the surface there to be looked at with that, if that makes sense. All right. So that's what they have for you, Hannah. Hopefully that helped, my dear. Why do you feel so vulnerable? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, it feels weird. Well, look at we're in so many retrogrades. I mean, so many that are coming. We're in the middle of Mercury retrograde. Uh, the Saturn pre-shadow, if you check out my retrograde video, it's that inner reflective energy. And so when things are bubbling up from the surface, then we're like, I get it, I get it. This is what's happening. So so that is what's coming in there. Right. All right. So love 1, 2, 3, 4. I was going to get to you next, but yeah, roller coaster, right? And then I have another donation through Z PayPal. So I will get to all those. Let me grab screenshots of all these things. Let me get rid of these ones real quick. So thank you guys so much. I didn't get through all of the donations, so I will come back and just so for the donations. So love 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Mia, a second one for Mia, Brenda. Let's see here. Infinity is 1. And then Alphonse, you're the PayPal. So you'll be up after that. And then Mia, and then Elaine, and then Infinity, and then Nova. Wow. I'm so sorry. I could probably be on another hour, but I gotta jump over to my praying mantis. Not I gotta. I honor my time with my praying mantis members. So I will jump over there. And then I will come back and finish out all the donations first, and then I will complete all the free readings, and I will put sorry, trying to do things at once. Well, you know how that goes with me. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. All right. A comment on the video when I come back, listing the order in which everything is completed, so you can find your reading extra easily, instead of listening through an hour or two video trying to locate your reading. So thank you again so much for all the donations. It allows me to continue to do what I do, and I'm so grateful. Sorry, I just need to make sure where I left off here. Okay. So that's that one right there. Okay. Don't want to miss anyone. And in the meantime, while your guys are waiting, I do have a ton of free content on my I was like, cow. I know, right? A ton of free content on my main page, including my new podcast episode that's out, From Chaos to Cozy. Let me just throw some quick links out here. From Chaos to Cozy. And I've got, like I was just talking about, the retrogrades. Here's some important information on those. The eclipse energy is still going to impact us for about 4 to 6 more weeks. So that is impacting us. And then, of course, Taurus season is next week. And happy birthday early to your Tauruses. You can check that out. It's for all us all, but there's a special bonus for Taurus sun babies too. And we've got here, what else was I going to say? Oh, Monday, I'll be having my monthly readings come out for the month of May too. So I'm excited. All right, everybody. I'm going to head off to my praying mentor session and I shall return probably about, let's see, it's probably 3 o'clock my time. So it's about 2 hours from now. And then I'll return. So after I eat and etc. So um, please know I'm so grateful for all of your love and support and for your thirst for hearing from Spirit too, and for trusting me to connect with you. So until we see each other again, remember every second of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. Hang in there. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. And we'll talk to you guys later. Take care.